Hi, I'm John Maxwell. When the top companies in the world are looking for trainers, speakers, and coaches, there's one name that stands above the rest, and that's Maxwell Leadership. Our certified team members have gotten proven results for companies all over the globe, and our reputation, I'm proud to say, is second to none. Some of our members have risen to the top of their profession, including the one you're going to meet today. I proudly introduce you to my friend Bob Fabian Zinga.
Welcome to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ, where we help you lead with purpose and succeed with impact. If you're ready to grow into the kind of leader others want to follow, this podcast is for you. If you're determined to elevate your success and leave a lasting legacy, this podcast is for you. As my mentor, Dr. John C. Maxwell reminds us, everything rises and falls on leadership. Our goal is simple: to inspire you, challenge you, and equip you with insights that can transform the trajectory of your leadership journey. Welcome aboard to another episode of the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
What if your next keynote speaker could bridge the worlds of national defense, Silicon Valley innovation, and global leadership? Meet Bob Fabian, BZ Zinga, award-winning keynote speaker, U.S. Navy Information Warfare Commander, and trusted executive in technology, leadership, and strategy. With over 20 years of proven leadership in the U.S. Department of Defense, the U.S. Navy, higher education, and the high-tech sector, from startups to Fortune 500 companies, BZ delivers keynote experiences that inspire, challenge, and equip leaders for real-world impact. BZ speaks with authority on cybersecurity and national security, strategies to safeguard critical assets in an age of constant threat, artificial intelligence and emerging technology, how to innovate responsibly while staying ahead of disruption, leadership and corporate governance, building resilient, ethical, and high-performance organizations in any environment. Every keynote blends military precision, Silicon Valley agility, and boardroom strategy, delivering practical takeaways that leaders can apply immediately. Audiences leave inspired, informed, and ready to lead with clarity and courage. Whether you're hosting a global conference, corporate summit, or leadership retreat, book BZ to energize your event and empower your audience to lead in a rapidly changing world.
We're exploring the powerful intersection of rigorous military discipline and that kind of, breakneck innovation you really only see in Silicon Valley.
Mm-hmm.
We're essentially analyzing a single high-performing individual who operates expertly in both of those worlds at the same time.
It's way more than just a balancing act. It's a deliberate synthesis, I think. The listener shared with us some really extensive sources detailing the journey, the philosophy, and the pretty complex production process behind Bob Fabian BZ Zinga.
Right.
And this is an individual holding down two high-stakes roles, a U.S. Navy Information Warfare Commander and a cybersecurity executive, while also producing a massive global content platform.
The Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ.
That's the one.
And that dual identity, that's really the heart of this deep dive, isn't it?
It has to be.
Our mission today is to unpack the specific mindset, the repeatable strategies, and the tactical use of technology that BZ uses to thrive in these high-pressure, often conflicting environments.
And crucially, how does that military rigor actually translate into a modern, effective leadership style?
Right.
And, maybe more importantly, a content multiplication engine that scales globally.
Right.
We have to acknowledge just how rare this is right out of the gate. To maintain the demanding tempo of a Navy command role, run a cybersecurity executive career, and then consistently produce a weekly, often multiple times a week, platform for years.
It's incredible. Reaching hundreds of thousands of listeners, it signals immediately that this isn't a hobby.
No. Not at all. This is a core non-negotiable duty for him.
That concept duty over hobby, that's the central thread we're going to be pulling on today. And here's the hook that really demands this detailed deep dive.
Go on.
BIZ has produced well over 400 episodes, and thanks to some very intentional tech choices, that content reaches an international audience localized into 24 different languages.
24. That's not just an achievement. That's an industrial-grade operation. It requires dedication, sure, but also a repeatable, predictable system.
Exactly. Okay, so let's unpack this.
So to understand any of this, we have to start with the architect himself. BZ Zynga's identity is just. It's founded on this deep sense of responsibility.
Yeah.
He is, first and foremost, a U.S. Navy information warfare commander. That means he's responsible for mission success in the information domain. We're talking cyber defense, electronic warfare, intelligence gathering.
High-stakes stuff.
The highest. And at the same time, he's a leading cybersecurity executive, a CISO or equivalent, in the private sector. And then, to complete the circle, he's also a Maxwell Leadership Certified coach.
You know, that's not just a powerful resume. That's a fully built, comprehensive philosophy in action.
All right, everyone. Welcome to another episode of the Leadership and Success podcast. Let's start with our moment of gratitude. So this will take but a moment. We do this every single time that we meet. We want to just make sure that we are thankful for one thing every single day. So if you would maybe close your eyes, put yourself in your happy place, take a deep breath, and think about one thing you are grateful for today. And I think today I am really grateful for America. I believe America is a very, very special country. There is no country like the USA. No, I was born in Africa. I am French by culture and American by choice. But there's really no country like the USA. As far as I know, it's the one and only country in the world with a dream, the American dream. There is no French dream. There is no Congolese dream. There is no European dream. There is no African dream. But there is an American dream. And thank God for the USA. And I'm very privileged and honored to now be a citizen of this great country. So that's what I'm grateful for. Let us know in your in the comments what you are grateful for. Also, let us know where you are joining us from, what city and what state, and if outside of the US, which country. And if you have a question for me, please let me know. Today, we are going to have the 10-minute AI recap on one of the article I wrote, which is inspiring military and tech leaders to grow, serve, and lead with purpose out of the interview I had with Listen Note. And if you are trying to start a brand new podcast, this is probably a good reference for you. And I give you some links about other references and things I have used that have helped me develop this podcast. I started about 4 years ago. So we're going to do the 10-minute AI recap today. And really what you are going to be learning today is going to be once you listen to the recap, it's going to break down why purpose must come before perfection. Right? I don't think anything is perfect in the world. I don't think any human being can be perfect, but you definitely can have purpose, and you can have what I call a spirit of excellence, not perfection, but excellence. Do the very best you can with what you've got. So I'm going to be talking, also breaking down about how to lead effectively without relying on rank or title, what servant leadership looks like in high-stake environment, and lesson from military command that translate directly to tech teams, and how to grow influence, resilience, and trust even under pressure, and why leadership is about multiplying leaders and not followers. I think if you multiply followers, you are an influencer, not necessarily a leader. But if you are a true leader, I believe you will develop other leaders. So let's go and catch the first 5 minutes done by artificial intelligence, and then I am going to play the last 5 minutes. Okay. Again, if you have a question for me, just type it in the comment. Thank you.
So, what happens when a U.S. Navy commander, who's also a big-time cybersecurity exec in Silicon Valley, decides his next mission isn't in a war room or a boardroom, but behind a microphone? Well, we're about to dive into the playbook of a leader who totally redefined his own impact, one episode at a time.
You know, it's a question a lot of really successful people eventually ask themselves. You've climbed the ranks, you've led the teams, but you feel this pull to share what you know on a much bigger scale. So how do you do it? How do you amplify your mentorship way beyond the people you see every day?
Yeah, instead of chasing another promotion or a bigger corner office, he just picked up a microphone. His goal was pretty simple, actually, to scale his ability to mentor and reach people all over the world. Let's dig into how he did it.
Okay, so to really get to the heart of what drives him, we first need to understand the man himself. Let's meet Bob Fabian Zinga, or as he's known, Coach BZ, a leader who literally lives and operates in two incredibly high-stakes worlds.
I mean, just stop and think about that combination for a second. You've got the intense, structured discipline of the U.S. Navy on one hand, and the super agile, break-things-fast world of Silicon Valley tech on the other. Coach BZ's entire leadership style was forged right there at that intersection, and it gives him this really unique perspective that becomes the bedrock for everything he does.
With two ridiculously demanding careers, you have to wonder, right? Why on earth add a podcast to the mix? Well, the answer really boils down to his core belief that developing other leaders isn't just a nice to have, it's a duty, and he wanted to take that duty global.
And this quote, this says it all, doesn't it? For Coach BZ, this is not a side gig or a hobby. It's a direct extension of his mission to serve. He saw a real need for mentorship for the next wave of leaders, both in the military and in the tech world, and a podcast was just the most powerful tool he could think of to bridge that gap on a massive scale.
And the growth? Wow, it's been nothing short of explosive. From launching back in November 2021, the podcast has ballooned to over 400 episodes. And get this, it's reaching a global audience from the US to Brazil to India, and it's even dubbed into 24 different languages. This clearly wasn't just a passion project. It was a mission that resonated big time all over the world.
All right, so a powerful mission is one thing, but execution is everything, especially when you're juggling two other full-time, high-pressure careers. So how in the world does he get it all done? Let's open up the playbook. First off, the investment is huge. We're talking 4 to 8 hours of work for every single episode. And that time is squeezed out of early mornings, late nights, weekends, you name it. And the funding? Zero. No sponsorships. It's all self-funded because he doesn't see it as an expense. For him, it's a personal investment in his mission to serve.
You can really see the discipline from his other careers in his process. It is a well-oiled machine. It starts with deep research and custom questions for every guest. Then he often records live to really engage the community. After that, it's hours of careful editing to make sure the quality is top-notch. And finally, strategic promotion across all his networks. It's a system built for consistency and, more importantly, for impact.
And for anyone wondering about the tech he uses, it's all about quality and efficiency. He's got a pro-level Shure MV7 mic for great sound, Podbean for hosting the episodes. He uses Audacity and Descript for editing, Metricool to schedule all the social media, and relies on Zoom and Riverside.fm to get those crystal clear remote interviews.
Okay, so with such a massive investment of time and his own money, what's the return? What's the real payoff? Well, as we're about to see, the most valuable results here go way, way beyond just download numbers.
But let's start with the hard numbers. The podcast has cruised past 5,000 downloads, and it's growing organically every single month. That's a really solid foundation. Now let's see where all those listeners are tuning in from.
So you can see the audience is pretty spread out. Spotify is the clear leader with 45%, but Apple Podcasts is right there behind him. And having a presence on YouTube and other platforms just shows a really smart strategy to meet listeners wherever they happen to be. But here's the thing. The real ROI? It's not something you can measure in downloads. It's in the incredible relationships he's built with top leaders around the world. It's the visibility that leads to major speaking gigs. It's the constant learning that comes from every single conversation. But most importantly, it's about fulfilling his mission. And that's a return that you just can't put on a spreadsheet.
So what are the big takeaways from Coach BZ's journey? He's actually boiled down his whole experience into a really powerful, simple action plan for anyone out there looking to grow their influence and make a real impact. Lesson number 1, done is better than perfect. Your first try isn't going to be flawless, and that is perfectly okay. The whole key is just to start, and then you improve as you go. Don't let that chase for perfection become an excuse for hesitation. Lesson 2, and this is a big one, serve before you sell. He didn't start this by chasing sponsors or trying to make money. He started by just trying to provide real value. And when you focus on serving your audience and your guests, that influence, it just naturally follows. And finally, lesson 3,
Build relationships, not just a download count. Remember that at the end of the day, it's all about people. The connections you make with your guests, your listeners, your collaborators, that's the real engine for growth. That's what will sustain and amplify your mission for the long haul.
So we've walked through the mission, the playbook, the impact. But now it really all comes down to one simple, powerful question that Coach BZ asks his own community.
Leadership is never a solo sport. You know that old saying, as iron sharpens iron, so one person sharpens another? So who are you intentionally developing? Who are you pouring your knowledge and experience into? Because in the end, that is the true measure of a leader's legacy.
All right. Hey, Dia, can you hear me? Oh, I think you are on mute.
Sorry, BC. Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay. Is your camera working?
Unfortunately, no.
Oh, okay. No problem. But I if at least if you can talk, that is fine. First, I wanted to let everybody know. So you are my surprise guest today. You didn't have to be there, but I'm going to be interviewing you. I believe it's going to be this Friday for season 4, episode 134. So you are in cyber security. You're a founder, operator, and a mentor. We're going to be talking about cyber security being existential. Is there anything you want to tell the audience about some of the things you're going to be sharing with us on Friday?
Yeah, sure thing. So, um, I have been in the leadership for around 17 years and in cybersecurity for around 16 years.
Mm-hmm.
And I have learned a lot of lesson throughout my career journey. Not just the success, not just the leadership journey, but also failures, which, shaped my career and beliefs and my spirituality, things like that.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm happy to have this conversation on Friday about my career journey and, the certain things that I have done to improve myself and improve my career, and also certain things that I have done for the society as being part of the working groups and things like that. And I would love to share some of the experiences that changed my career and some of the I won't call it shortcuts, but some of the things that I have done to change my career to be where I am now. And
Mm-hmm.
also, I would love to share my business journey as an entrepreneur and how did I get started and where I am now. And more than all of that, I would love to share um, what does it mean by leadership in not in regards of theory or books, but in practices and
Mm-hmm.
some of the leadership aspect, like being a servant leader, being a authentic leader. Some of the things that I practice every day in my life, which
Yes.
will yeah, which has been helping me and which I think will be helpful for the society as well, and especially for the professionals who is, coming forward and wanting to be in leadership positions, and just a new graduate who is exploring new career opportunities,
Wow.
things like that. Yep.
That is really wonderful. And can you tell us a little bit about Shiro? So you are the founder for that. What does Shiro Cyber do? Why did you
Yeah.
create it?
Yeah, sure thing. So, I started my entrepreneur career when I was just 19 years ago. I mean, 19 years old.
Hmm.
So I was still in the graduate school, and I thought, okay, I need to transfer my knowledge to others. So I thought this is a good platform, and I started a small training academy back in India. And then, I migrated to United States, and I didn't leave my passion for business. And I don't see business just as the way to make money, but it is to support the community, support myself,
Mm-hmm.
and support people in need. So when I was doing my business back in India, my focus was to help women like me who doesn't have a lot of opportunities out there, or who doesn't know how to find opportunities. So
Mm-hmm.
I literally trained some of the women from my village to do software testing. So that is how I started my business after the training academy. And when I migrated to United States, I thought, okay, there are still a lot of need for resources, loyal resources, not just to people who has certifications or academic background.
Mm-hmm.
So that drove me to starting a consultancy, and I had some employees. And again, I found women and minority who needed help and who needed a little bit of encouragement and a hands of support. So I have provided that, and then I started figuring out the way to get more profit out of that so I can grow my
Wow,
business. So
that's
now
pretty
I
amazing.
thank you. So right now, I started Shiro Cyber after a gap from my first consultancy, and we provide AI services and, of course, cybersecurity services. And my
Mm-hmm.
concentration is on medtech because I have been working in the medical device industry for a long time now,
Yes.
especially in cyber privacy. And recently, like 4 years ago, I started doing AI as well. As we know, it's a
Mm-hmm.
growing technology area.
Wow.
So yep. Right now, we focus on medtech providing cybersecurity services for regulatory industry, such as how do you submit an FDA, documentation for
Mm-hmm.
some of the devices to be cleared on the field, or how do you
Wow.
do cybersecurity risk management, or the bunch of stuffs.
Yes.
And then because the AI is getting prominent, and it has a lot of potential, I started doing AI as well. I recently went through a AI strategy and a leadership training from MIT,
Mm-hmm.
and got certified on that. And I started putting some effort in doing some AI support for different customers.
Wow.
And yeah, that is what we do. But more than that, my intention of running this business is to support the society, people who is in need. It's
Yes.
not really focused on taking uh, gaining profit. Yeah, profit is one
Mm-hmm.
part of business, but more than that, it is a service.
Yes.
And I'm happy to do that. And I am
Man,
hoping that the business will grow better over the time.
that is really amazing. And then another thing I wanted you to mention just a little bit before we let you go is your upcoming podcast, right? The Power Leader. Can you tell us about that?
Sure thing. So, I just started that podcast. It was part of a calling. I had few life-changing incidents in my life, and one of the recent incident was few months ago, and I realized that we don't have a lot of time in front of us. We
Mm-hmm.
always think, okay, there is tomorrow, there is future. We plan for that, but in reality, I think we just have the current time, right? We just have now. So
Yes.
I wanted to always help people. As I said, even my business ventures were really to help others. So I didn't have a lot of money to help everybody whom I want to help, right? So
Mm-hmm.
after this life-changing incident, I, you know, decided to come out of my shell and, transfer my knowledge and connect people who have more knowledge and life stories and experience to the people out.
Hold on. Just 1 second, please. Uh, I'm sorry. Daya, are you still with us? Okay,
Yes.
yeah. Sorry, I lost you there for a second. Sorry, you were saying part of the reason why you started your podcast, the Power Leader.
Yep. Yeah. So, BC. So I was trying to say, after I had my one of the recent life-changing incident, I
Mhm.
decided to come out of my shell and share my knowledge and my life experience to the world, and also, connect people who has some story to share with the world.
Mhm.
And that story might become an inspiration for so many others. We don't know, right? Because
Yes.
unless we talk in person, we don't know their stories. So I think this is a good platform to share the stories and share your knowledge and inspire and help others, and a lot more, right? There is a lot of possibilities. So that is the
Mhm.
exact reason I decided to start it.
Well, that is really awesome, and I am very excited to have you here. And I'm gonna make sure that people know how to follow you on LinkedIn. So your LinkedIn address is on linkedin.com in and dia-r. So very easy to remember. That's pretty much it. I just wanted to for people to get to know you a little bit and what we're going to be talking about this Friday, and of course promote your LinkedIn profile and also your upcoming podcast. I believe you said your first episode will be published next month in January, right? For the
Yes,
podcast.
it is. Yep.
Wow. And you're going to be interviewing a lot of CISOs and CEOs as well.
Yes, that's correct.
Wow, that is really awesome. I really love what you do to add value to the community. I think we need it now more than ever before. That's really all I needed to do. I want to take too much of your time. Is there anything else you would like to say before we say goodbye for now?
Happy Christmas, everyone, and a Happy New
Yes.
Year. If we don't meet before, have a wonderful holiday and stay blessed. And yeah, we will be seeing you all very soon.
Very good. Thank you. Thank you so much, Dia. I really do appreciate that. All right, everyone. We are now going to go back to the second 5 minute recap for AI from the original podcast. I think it was published yesterday. So it's this one really from the interview I had with Listen Note, but I really want to focus on the leadership lessons, right, from the work I am doing with the Leadership and Success podcast, inspiring military and tech leaders. That's my niche, to grow, to serve, and to lead with purpose. All right. I'm going to play the second 5 minute AI recap now. Of course, if you have a question for me, type it in the comment and let me know where you are coming from, what city, what state, and also what you are grateful for today. Here we go.
Welcome, everyone. Today, we're diving into the world of leadership that bridges military discipline with Silicon Valley innovation. Yeah, it's all about growing, serving, and leading with purpose.
Right. Absolutely. It's fascinating to see someone who's been a Navy information warfare commander and a cybersecurity exec merging those worlds. How does that even translate into practical leadership lessons?
Well, it's like, um, imagine you've got a finely tuned machine that runs on discipline and innovation. The podcast we're discussing, it's called the Leadership and Success Podcast with Coach BZ, draws from over 2 decades of military and tech experience to build a real-world leadership playbook.
Yeah, exactly. I get that. And it's not just about the stories, right? It's a blend of authentic storytelling, practical frameworks, and even biblical principles that drive integrity and service.
Yep, it really digs deep into that concept. Coach BZ uses quotes like Proverbs 16:3 and Colossians 3:23 to 24 to underline how aligning your mission with a higher purpose transforms ordinary leadership into something truly impactful.
Absolutely. That connection between faith and leadership is really refreshing. But I'm curious, How does he manage the logistics of all this as a full-time cybersecurity exec and military commander?
So, here's the deal. Coach BZ is all about discipline. He carves out early mornings, late nights, even weekends. Each podcast episode, which can take 4 to 8 hours to plan, record, and edit, is built out of a commitment to lead with excellence.
Right, definitely. That's intense. And he's self-funding all of it, isn't he? It sounds like a major investment in impact over profit.
Exactly. Funding isn't the driving force here, it's purpose. He invests in high-quality equipment like a Shure MV7 mic, Rode PSA 1 arm, a solid audio interface, essentials that keep the audio crisp for interviews that sometimes get recorded on Zoom, with occasional upgrades using Riverside.fm.
Uh-huh. And then there's the role of AI, right? I read that he even uses AI-powered dubbing tools to translate episodes into over 24 languages. That's a bold move for a leadership podcast.
Yeah, it's like really breaking down language barriers. It transforms the podcast into a global event, reaching audiences from the US to Brazil, India, and Spain.
Right on. I also appreciate how the show stays true to its roots. It's not chased by sponsorships or external interests. The focus is always on mentoring and serving leaders from every corner, regardless of the sector they're in.
Totally. And here's something that makes it stand out: the personal anecdotes and strategic questions woven into each episode. He intentionally asks about a guest's struggles, victories, and even biblical leadership insights, creating a rich tapestry of lessons.
Absolutely. But wouldn't you say that sometimes mixing traditional military values with Silicon Valley innovation might feel a bit, well, conflicting at times?
That's a fair point. However, he blends them seamlessly by emphasizing servant leadership. It's like using the best aspects of order and creativity to cultivate leaders who serve others, not just command
Yeah,
them.
I see that. It's interesting how he balances the rigorous structure from his Navy days with the fluid, ever evolving tech environment. That duality is quite rare.
Exactly. It's like a balancing act on a tightrope between tradition and modernity. And with over 400 episodes and 5,000 downloads, his audience clearly vibes with that approach.
Right, indeed. And speaking of his audience, he markets the show primarily through LinkedIn, right? That connection really speaks to his target crowd of military officers, cybersecurity pros, and emerging leaders.
Yes, he leverages LinkedIn to share leadership tips, video clips, AI highlight reels, and even questions to stir up engagement. It's less about chasing numbers and more about creating a genuine conversation.
Yeah, that's very authentic. I also noticed that his process includes a rigorous guest selection strategy, diverse voices, veterans, tech innovators, and even underrepresented voices. That must add a lot of depth.
Absolutely. It's like he thinks, who can bring a new perspective to leadership? And then he digs into those perspectives. His podcasts aren't just interviews, they're mini masterclasses in resilience, ethical innovation, and service leadership.
Definitely. And the whole idea of leadership is not about titles but about transformation really resonates with the current global challenges. You know, the kind of leadership that transforms environments rather than just managing them.
Exactly. Every conversation is geared towards thoughtful transformation. It's like a behind-the-scenes look at what makes leaders effective and inspirational, whether you're commanding a Navy cyber team or growing a startup.
Right. And he also touches on the importance of personal growth and emotional intelligence, key building blocks that aren't always front and center in traditional leadership training.
Yes, leaders need to constantly evolve. Whether it's through reflective questions like, who are you sharpening right now? Or the biblical references like James 1:5 for wisdom, it's all about nurturing both technical and human aspects of leadership.
Yeah, I'm curious though, what do you think about his insistence on self-funding as compared to seeking sponsors? Doesn't that limit scaling opportunities?
That's a good question. While self-funding can be limiting, in this case it preserves the podcast's authenticity and integrity. It's a deliberate choice to let purpose, rather than profit, guide the narrative.
True, true. I can respect that approach. It's like a deliberate, mission focused strategy. It might be more challenging financially, but the trust and engagement that result are priceless.
Exactly, and that connects deeply with the idea of servant leadership. By not succumbing to outside pressures, he can truly focus on mentoring rather than
Right.
marketing.
Shifting gears a bit, what role do you think technological fluency plays in his leadership model?
Oh, it's huge. He's not just harnessing technology for production efficiency, like using AI for dubbing or scheduling via Metricool. He's also using it as a metaphor for modern leadership. It's like saying, in a tech driven era, leaders need to be agile, adaptive, and innovative.
Yeah, absolutely. Right. And I really dig how he uses personal vulnerabilities and real life challenges as teaching moments, talking about his own experiences in the Navy and on the cybersecurity front lines.
Yes, it's a perfect blend, combining rigorous discipline with personal growth narratives. It doesn't shy away from the struggles. Instead, it transforms them into learning opportunities.
Indeed. It reminds me of that old adage, iron sharpens iron. Each conversation is not just about imparting wisdom, but also about, challenging each other to be better.
Exactly. And that's evident in how guests reflect on their journeys and share tangible leadership challenges at the end of each episode. These are, not just stories, they're calls to action.
Right on. I love that approach. It's very conversational yet deeply reflective. It encourages the listener to not just be passive, but to actively engage with their own leadership path.
Yes, it's almost like each episode is a mini workshop. And Coach BZ even ties in leadership challenges and personal devotions, pulling in biblical insights to round out the
Exactly.
wisdom.
It truly is a holistic leadership platform. And the fact that his podcast has evolved into a global movement, reaching audiences in 24 languages, shows the universal appeal of these concepts.
Right. And it's not just about reaching people, it's about transforming lives. Every story, every conversation is a testament that leadership, when anchored in purpose and integrity, can transcend
Absolutely.
any barrier.
Listening to all of this really makes you reflect on your own leadership journey. What do you deliberate on daily? It's inspiring to think that leadership is truly a living, evolving practice.
Absolutely. It challenges us to continually elevate our standards, serve others, and grow as individuals. Whether you're in the military, tech, or anywhere in between, leading with purpose and authenticity is the ultimate goal.
Indeed, exactly. Thanks for this insightful discussion. It's been a real eye opener into a leadership model that unites discipline, innovation, and heartfelt service.
My pleasure. Remember, lead with purpose, stay humble, and always be in the service of others. Thanks for tuning in, and let's all keep sharpening one another.
Right on.
All right, that's it for today. I'm gonna play one more clip of the full episode on the way out, but I want to remind everybody. So I'm gonna be back here tomorrow. Tomorrow I am gonna have episode 132, which is going to be the leadership lessons I learned from General Colin Powell. So that's gonna be tomorrow on Monday, and then on Tuesday, I will have the pleasure of having my former professor. Dr. Casey Lucius. She was my professor at the Naval War College in Monterey. She's a scholar, practitioner, servant leader, and executive. So I'm going to be talking about full circle leadership conversation, how the leadership lessons I learned in her class have been really crucial on my leadership journey, both in the Navy and Silicon Valley. And then on Friday, like we said, I'm going to be talking with Daya Ramesh. She just said hello, so that's going to be this Friday. And then the following Monday, I'm going to be speaking to Captain Tess. Captain Tess Tracy. She's a doctor in psychology, and she's an officer in charge now, a transformational leader and operational psychologist. We're going to be talking about the psychology of command. And then the following Friday, I'm going to be speaking with one and only Dr. Shauna Doug Springer. She's trusted, relentless, and perceptive. We're going to be talking about mental warfare and moral courage. If you remember, we had an interview with Michael Segou, the co-author for Relentless Courage. So now we're going to be talking with Doug as well. So that is coming up. And thanks again for watching the show. So I'm going to play another short clip of the full podcast, and I will see you tomorrow. Thank you for being here. Bye for now.
I mean, every skill required to run a successful platform, clear communication, active listening, continuous research is an essential requirement for effective leadership, whether you're in command or in the C-suite.
By consistently producing content, he is constantly sharpening his own core leadership skills. It reinforces the importance of being the most teachable person in the room.
And finally, for the listener who feels that call to start their own platform, BZ recommends several resources. For the mechanics, the podcast host, Buzzsprout Podcasting 101, and the School of Podcasting by Dave Jackson.
And for refining the message and purpose, he points to Start With Why by Simon Sinek and Talk Like Ted by Carmine Gallo.
Those books reinforce the whole system, don't they? First, get absolute clarity of purpose, the why. And second, structure that purpose into powerful, compelling, and reproducible storytelling.
It brings the entire operational cycle full circle, from purpose to deployment. #outro.
So if we look back at this incredible deep dive, the key insight that distinguishes BZ's success is, well, it's clear. His achievement is absolutely rooted in viewing leadership development and multiplication as a military mission, not a casual interest. He masterfully fuses disciplined operational rigor, that 4 to 8 hours of structured prep, the non-negotiable weekly release with cutting-edge AI-enabled scaling, especially that 24-language dubbing.
All while maintaining a radical self-funded focus on service over chasing commercial metrics or money.
What stands out most profoundly to me is the sheer intentionality of his deployment strategy. He uses his validated professional network, those 33,000 plus LinkedIn followers, not for vanity, but as a strategic resource to source diverse, high-caliber expertise.
And you couple that with the commitment to 24-language dubbing, and he has truly transformed a demanding personal project into a genuine, structured global leadership movement. It's designed to reproduce the lessons of command across continents.
Thank you for tuning in to the Leadership and Success Podcast with your host, Coach BZ. If today's episode added value to your leadership journey, be sure to subscribe, share, and join us again for more wisdom nuggets on how to lead better and achieve greater success. Remember, leadership is the most critical skill of our time. The world will always need leaders to inspire others, drive innovation, and execute meaningful strategy. So why not count yourself among the bold leaders shaping the 21st century? Until next time, stay inspired, stay committed, and keep leading with excellence.